What is moonfall? It means that as the moon spirals closer to the Earth, there is a strong gravitational pull, resulting in massive floods that cause death and destruction. Welcome to another video of Cosmos Observer, the only destination for your space curiosities. Mars is a planet that has captured the attention of astronomers for decades. It is the only planet. Apart from Earth, it is the only planet in our solar system that has demonstrated the ability to sustain life as we know it. Since 1971, with the landing of the Soviet Mars 3 space probe, mankind has been plotting and prepping the planet for people. The Viking 1, Curiosity, and Perseverance are rovers that were sent there to learn about the current and previous habitability of the planet. However, all this could be a waste if there is a moonfall disaster on Mars. Imagine the entire moon falling on the surface of a red planet. If there is a chance of a moon falling, there is a chance of rain, but mankind has not yet given up. The Mars Perseverance rover's chief scientist, Dr. Ken Farley, expands the search for life on Mars. The latest rover is equipped with what you might need on Mars in case of human arrival. There are also small helicopters with large air blades. The drone-type helicopter is a test product to see if future explorers could use something like it to explore the planet, instead of the surface and the water on Earth being depleted by having to traverse it themselves. The rover is also equipped with a device that converts atmospheric carbon dioxide into oxygen, a proof of concept regarding providing breathable air for future manned explorers. If this invention can create some kind of source of oxygen, future scientists won't have to carry oxygen with them for breathing or for propulsion to get off the planet later. Instead, they would be able to utilize a device like this on Mars and create oxygen right there. This would revolutionize space travel as we know it. NASA recently discovered some impressive evidence supporting the potential of life. They found traces of ancient magma in the form of volcanic rocks. They also found clues indicating that Jazero's box once had a lot of water in the form of rivers, swallows, and lakes. Scientists examine rock material for the biocharacteristics of microorganisms. Dr. Foley explains how signatures are formed. This process is very similar to finding dinosaur fossils in various soil layers on Earth, but at a microscopic level. Then he says that the Mars moonfall is real, and this leads to our question, should we actually start to worry? This question brings it to light. What will we do if there are many more people on the list of aristocrats? And if this moonfall occurs, is this a place for imprisonment or a myth, a place for death? If Mars could be a planet for civilization, what would the aristocrats do with it? And if this is a myth, then Mars will be the new elite civilization. The rover also separates organic molecules preserved in rocks and dust on the Martian surface into tubes and leaves them for later collection. These scientific discoveries testify to the environment of Mars billions of years ago. In Elon Musk's case, NASA is planning the first manned trip to Mars as early as 2030 or 2029, so the fate of this planet and its demonic moon is particularly important. Can we ignore all warnings that one of Mars' moons is still rocky while we explore colonization, unstable, stuck in a death spiral with the planet? This seems like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it is not an illusion, it is inevitable. The two terrifying twin moons of Mars are named after the twin children of the Greek god Ares, Phobos and Deimos. The twins made their Hollywood debuts with Pain and Panic on Disney's Hercules. There are often comedic slogans in the film, but the two are truly unique in reality. Both satellites are very small. Phobos has a radius of 7 miles and the same surface area as Luxembourg. It is also 157 times smaller than our moon. The younger brother Deimos has a radius of 6.2 kilometers, which is smaller than Mount Everest. Because it's so small, it doesn't have strong gravity, so it can't hold or get a spherical shape, so it's potato-shaped. The most common belief is that they were once part of Jupiter's asteroid belt, but were pushed away by gravity to find their home around Mars. Phobos has always been a geek in his family per year, which is the same rate at which our fingernails grow. Because of this, scientists predict that in approximately 600 million years, the Earth and all of its inhabitants will experience the last solar eclipse as the moon moves away into space. With this reality in mind, scientists have extensively studied what would happen to the Earth if and when it is no longer influenced by the moon. The first noticeable change would be that our night sky would be very dark. As the moon is what casts light on our planet when the sun is resting, without it, we would be relying exclusively on stars or the light we create here on Earth. Another thing that would directly impact our planet would be the absence of tidal motion due to the lack of a moon. The gravitational pull between the moon and our planet, or tidal force, causes water to bulge on the side that's closest to the moon, making the Earth look kind of like an egg. And yes, we can say bye to surfing and all other water sports that indulge our minds. This results in our oceans following a rhythmic pulse as the moon orbits Earth, with the oceans and seas rising and falling with it. Alternatively, as the moon walks away from us and gets far enough that it's no longer linked to our orbit, our Earth's tides will be approximately 1/3 of what they are today. This is because just the sun will be pulling on the Earth, and the pull is much weaker as it's so far away. Another impact would be on our calendar. Our days would speed by as there would be no longer any gravitational pull between the Earth and the moon, slowing down our spin. The 24-hour days we are used to would be shortened to 612 hours instead. Our year would be made up of over 1,000 shorter days instead of our handy, normal 365. If fate changed and the moon rocketed towards Earth like Phobos is heading towards Mars, we would experience a different situation entirely. Instead of silence, there will be huge waves in our ocean. According to Dr. Tony Cook of the University of Aberystwyth, if the moon were at least half the distance from Earth, the tides would have been 8 times stronger than they are now. There will be high tides, coastal flooding, tsunamis, and significant volcanic activity. We can expect something similar on Mars as Phobos descends. Even though it's much smaller and Mars has no oceans, we're going to see geographic variability. The act of bringing the moon closer to Earth would stir up a lot of activity that would challenge humanity's abilities to survive on Earth. You should expect that similar challenges would be faced by a Mars civilization with the Phobos situation. But here's the good news. Even though the collapse of Phobos is imminent, we have almost an eternity to prepare for it. Give or take 50 million years. Yes, Phobos is not in any hurry, and maybe even if we colonized Mars, we would already be looking for a new home by then. But really, who wouldn't want to live on Mars and see the red sunrise and sunset? It will be different for a while, but this human species can surely live there with the necessities. Exploring the dark recesses of the solar system allows us to excitedly look beyond our own borders to a future of space exploration. As we gaze into the future, we find potential problems that the human race will have to deal with, and we come to realize that they are a lot closer to home. After spending time with Mars moons, we learn a lot about how the smallest lunar potato can affect the planet's dishes. Imagine mankind has turned Mars into a colonial paradise. Suddenly, one of the moons, Phobos, begins to tilt towards the planet, getting closer and closer to the surface of Mars. This disaster movie Moonfall comes to mind when Earth's moon crashes into a planet and tries to destroy everything. How will the human race of the future cope with this catastrophe? Give it a thought, and I hope this was interesting enough to hold your creative brain. If yes, then keep on thinking.